Welcome to another deep dive. And before we even get started,
Yeah.
I want you to tell us down in the comments where you were listening from today. We'd love to see that global representation.
Yeah, it's always so cool to see.
It is so cool. So today we are diving into something really fascinating, and I think maybe a little bit sad too.
Mm.
Um, we've got a whole stack of reports and studies here about small YouTubers
Oh yeah, big stack.
and the struggles that they face. And one stat that just absolutely blew my mind is that 90% of new YouTube channels fail to upload consistently after their first year.
Oh wow.
90%. It's almost like a digital ghost town out there.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of a puzzle, isn't it? Like what is going on? Why is it that so many people are starting these channels and then just sort of disappearing?
Right. Is it just that people lose interest? Or is there something more at play? Because
Well,
90% is such a huge number.
yeah. I mean, you have to think about it this way. Like starting a YouTube channel, it's basically like launching this tiny little boat out into this vast ocean.
Well, I like that analogy.
You know? And there are so many storms out there, and you've got to navigate these choppy waters, and you've got to learn how to ride the waves. You've got to adjust your sails constantly just to kind of stay afloat.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. So what are some of the biggest storms that these small YouTubers are facing? What's causing so many of them to capsize?
Well, one of the first hurdles that they face is the growth, the agonizingly slow growth that most creators experience.
Yeah.
It's like planting a seed and watching it sprout and then realizing that it's growing in millimeters.
Right.
I mean, there was a study that we were looking at that found that 70% of small creators reported feeling stuck after 6 months of consistent uploading.
Oh, wow.
I mean, think about that dedication. It takes a lot to keep creating when it feels like no one is watching.
Yeah, I can see how that would be incredibly disheartening. You're putting all of this creative energy into something.
And it just feels like it's going into a void.
Yeah. And we actually had a story about this in our research. We have a story about Sarah who started a lifestyle channel, and she was so enthusiastic. She was posting twice a week for a whole year,
Wow, that's a lot.
religiously.
Yeah.
And despite that, she barely reached 200 subscribers.
Oh, no.
And, she eventually burned out. She just stopped.
It's tough. And the thing is that lack of audience growth is often tied to another major challenge:
What's that?
monetization.
Oh, yeah.
The ever-elusive monetization.
Right, because you're not making any money off of this.
Exactly. And, YouTube has this partner program
Right.
that allows creators to earn money from ads.
Right.
But in order to get into the program,
There's like a bar you have to get over.
it has some pretty steep requirements. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the past year.
Wow.
So for a small creator who's just starting out, that's a pretty
That's a lot.
significant milestone.
Yeah, so basically you're telling me that even if you're creating great content,
Mm-hmm.
you're working for free until you reach that.
Essentially, yes.
Wow.
And to give you a sense of the financial reality here,
Yeah.
a video with 1,000 views might earn you like $1 or $2,
Really?
maybe $5 if you're lucky.
So it's not even worth it at that point.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
reaching 1,000 views consistently
Yeah.
is important. But it's a steep climb when you're a small channel.
Yeah.
You just don't have the visibility.
Right. And
We actually came across another story in the research about Alex,
Okay.
who is a tech reviewer,
okay, cool.
and he decided to go all in. He spent over $2,000 on equipment to launch his channel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and after a year of consistently uploading high-quality videos,
Yeah.
he barely had 800 subscribers
Oh, no.
and made next to nothing.
So he basically went into debt to do this.
Essentially, yeah. And unfortunately, he ended up quitting. He was exhausted and financially drained.
Wow. It's heartbreaking to hear these stories.
Yeah.
It seems like the odds are stacked against you from the very beginning.
Yeah.
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 You have this slow growth. You have that monetization hurdle. It's no wonder so many creators just kind of throw in the towel.
And those are just the tip of the iceberg. We haven't even talked about the emotional toll yet.
Right. Because it's not just the financial side of it.
It's so much more than that.
It's the time,
Exactly.
the energy.
The pressure to create, the pressure to upload, the pressure to engage and stay ahead of the curve.
Right. Because you can't just post something and then be done.
No, you've got to be constantly engaging with your audience,
Right.
replying to comments.
That's a full-time job.
It is, and especially when you're juggling YouTube with other commitments like a job or family or school.
Right. Exactly. So it's like running a marathon with no finish line in sight.
Exactly. And the data backs this up. A study from the Pew Research Center found that nearly 50% of small creators feel emotionally drained by the platform's demands.
Wow.
It's a constant battle to stay motivated and keep that creative spark alive.
Yeah. And In our research, we have a story about Jenna,
Okay.
who poured her heart and soul into her channel for 2 years while also working a full-time job.
Oh, wow.
And, she hit this plateau of like 500 subscribers
Mm-hmm.
and eventually stepped back just for her own mental health.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
It's so important to prioritize your well-being.
Yeah, and it's just a reminder that there's this human cost to chasing this YouTube dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the views and the subscribers.
Right.
It's about maintaining
Yourself.
your well-being.
This is starting to sound a little bit bleak.
I know.
But we've only just scratched the surface.
We've got more.
We still need to talk about the infamous YouTube algorithm.
Oh, yes. The algorithm.
Which feels like a whole other beast in and of itself.
Oh, it is. It's a fascinating and often frustrating beast.
Yeah, we'll delve into that more when we come back.
We will.
Okay, so we're back, and we are ready to tackle this YouTube algorithm.
Yes.
This mysterious force.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the curtain that's deciding, who gets seen.
And who gets buried.
And who gets buried in the digital depths.
Exactly. It plays such a huge role in a channel success. I mean, imagine it like a massive control panel.
With countless levers and dials, all working to connect viewers with the content that they'll enjoy.
Right.
But for these small creators, it can often feel like
those levers and dials aren't quite
yeah, they're not in their favor.
right. So how exactly does this algorithm work against small creators? Is it like deliberately trying to keep them down?
No, it's not about being malicious or anything.
But
It's
not-
about efficiency.
Okay.
The algorithm is designed to prioritize videos that already have high engagement.
So things like,
Things like watch time, comments, like, shares.
okay, so all of the things that show that people are actually
Engage.
engaged and enjoying the content.
Exactly. All of those signals tell YouTube, like, hey, people are really enjoying this. So the more engagement a video has, the more likely it is to be recommended to others.
So it's almost like a popularity contest
Line up?
where the most popular kids keep getting invited to the parties.
In a way, yeah. And the data actually supports this. Over 70% of YouTube views come from recommendations.
Wow.
So if you're a small channel with limited engagement, you
Yeah.
know, your videos are less likely to get that algorithmic boost.
Right. So you're less likely to reach new people.
Exactly.
It's really starting to feel like we're painting a pretty discouraging picture here.
I know it's a lot to take in.
But there have to be ways to crack the code, right? Like our research mentions some small YouTubers who've managed to break through.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's their secret?
It's not so much about cracking a code, it's more about understanding the game.
Okay.
The creators who succeed often do so by focusing on quality over quantity, finding their niche,
Okay.
and building a genuine connection with their audience.
Okay, so can you give us some specific examples? Our research mentioned a creator named Rachel who found success in the niche world of upcycled crafts.
Oh yeah, Rachel's story is a great example.
Which you do differently.
She was passionate about upcycling,
Okay.
and she had this really unique way of presenting her crafts, and one of her videos went viral.
Oh, wow.
It gained over 100,000 views in just a month.
Wow, and she was a small creator.
Yeah, she only had like 500 subscribers at the time.
Wow, so she didn't change her style or try to chase trends?
No.
She just kept doing her thing and it resonated.
Exactly. And it highlights such a crucial point for all creators.
Which is?
You don't need 1 million views to make an impact.
Okay.
What you really need is to connect with the right viewers.
Okay.
The ones who genuinely appreciate your content.
So find your tribe.
Yes, find
Right.
your tribe, build a community around your passion.
So it's not just about mastering the algorithm, it's about mastering
Your craft.
craft.
Yeah.
Finding your voice.
And that brings us to another key factor in success.
Which is?
Mindset.
Yes, mindset is so important.
Because it's so easy to get caught up in this numbers game on YouTube.
Oh, it's so easy.
Right, you're constantly thinking about the subscribers, the views, the likes.
You forget why you started creating in the first place.
Yeah, you're looking at the scoreboard instead of focusing on playing the game.
Exactly.
So how do we shift that?
Well, it starts by reframing the question.
Instead of asking, why am I not growing? Ask yourself, how can I grow as a creator?
Oh, I like that.
You know? Focus on improving your skills.
Yeah.
Experiment with new ideas. Hone your craft. It's about the journey, not just the destination.
I love that. So instead of chasing vanity metrics,
Mm-hmm.
we should be chasing
Personal growth.
personal growth. Yeah. And each video, even if it doesn't go viral,
Right.
it's still an opportunity to
Learn and improve.
learn and improve. So for our listeners out there who are feeling a little overwhelmed by all of this,
Yeah.
what's one small, actionable step that they can take today to kind of start shifting their mindset?
I would say set a small, achievable goal for your channel this month.
Okay.
Maybe it's uploading a certain number of videos. Maybe it's trying a new editing technique.
Yeah.
Or simply engaging more with your audience.
Okay.
The key is to make it something attainable.
Right.
And celebrate those small wins along the way.
It's all about those small victories.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the algorithm, the importance of finding your niche, shifting your mindset. But there's another piece of this puzzle that I think is so crucial for small creators.
And that is...
Community.
Yes. Community is so important.
Tell us more about that.
It's like a lifeline, especially when you're facing those inevitable moments of doubt and discouragement.
Right.
Knowing that you're not alone, that there are people out there who appreciate what you do, can make all the difference.
And this is where our amazing listeners come in, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can all play a part in supporting these small creators.
Oh, absolutely.
And helping them combat that feeling of isolation.
It's so easy to just passively consume content online.
Yep, just scroll, scroll, scroll.
But taking that extra step to engage can make a world of difference.
Right.
Comment.
Right.
Like, share, subscribe. These small acts of encouragement can really go a long way.
Yeah. Brighten someone's day. Encourage them to keep creating.
Exactly.
About building each other up. Recognizing that even the biggest YouTube stars
started somewhere. We
all did.
We all have a role to play in fostering a more supportive and inclusive YouTube community.
I love that. So we've covered a lot of ground here today.
We have.
From the challenges of growth and monetization to the importance of finding your niche, shifting your mindset, and building a supportive community.
It's a lot.
It is. But there's one more crucial point that I think we need to address.
Okay.
And that is the value of resilience.
Oh, that's a good one.
And we'll delve into that more after a quick break. Okay, so we're back. And, we've been talking about all these hurdles that small YouTubers face. But I want to shift gears for a moment and offer some encouragement.
Yes.
To those who are out there, grinding away, putting their heart and soul into their content.
It's so easy to get discouraged.
It is.
When you're putting in all this effort and not seeing the results that you hoped for.
Right.
But, you have to remember that every success story starts somewhere.
Yeah.
Every big YouTuber that you admire today
Right.
was once in your shoes.
They were a small channel.
Facing the same doubts and struggles.
Right. They probably had moments where they wanted to give up too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But they didn't.
They kept going.
Yeah, they kept going, they kept learning, they kept honing their craft.
And that's what resilience is all about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that inner fire that keeps you going even when the going gets tough.
It's about embracing the ups and downs, the wins and the losses, and using them as fuel to grow.
Right. It's about remembering why you started creating in the first place.
Yes.
And letting that passion kind of guide you through those challenging moments.
It's not just about bouncing back from setbacks.
It's about using those setbacks to
propel yourself forward.
To propel yourself forward.
Yeah. It's about viewing those challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. Developing a thick skin, learning from your mistakes, and coming back stronger each time.
And I think that's such a powerful message for all creators.
Yeah.
Regardless of their audience size or level of success.
It's about finding joy in the process, even when it's tough, even when you feel like giving up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, you're not alone in this journey. There's a whole community of creators out there who understand what you're going through.
Yeah, they're cheering you on.
They are.
Rooting for your success.
Your journey matters.
It does.
Even if it doesn't look like the journeys of those big YouTubers that you see out there.
Don't compare yourself.
Yeah, your voice is valuable. Your perspective is unique. And your story is worth telling.
Don't let the challenges define you. Let them shape you into a stronger, more resilient creator.
Beautifully said. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of another deep dive.
Oh,
Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of the world of small YouTubers.
it was a good one.
It was. And remember, whether you're a creator yourself or just someone who enjoys watching great content, we all have a role to play in fostering a more supportive and vibrant online community.
We do.
So keep creating, keep engaging, and keep diving deep into the things that inspire you.
Yes.
Until next time.